Awesome.
Hi, Rick.
Hey.
How are you today?
Just fine. I'm going to read this real quick. This is July 20th. This day in 2015, after discussing the need to protect Confederate memorials, North Carolina's House passes a bill requiring legislative approval to remove historic monuments. This bill is signed into law a few days later. It's interesting because of all the talk now about Confederate memorials and a lot of opinions about the need for them to come down. This was a legislation to protect them only 5 years ago. So anyway, we're chugging along here. We had another good practice today. We went light today. We had 2 hard days where guys really competed hard, and there was a lot of load on their bodies. And so today we lightened up, anticipating an off day tomorrow. So in essence, getting a good day and a half rest, headed into Wednesday's practice, and then we'll scrimmage the Lakers on Thursday. So at this point, things are good.
Awesome, thanks. All right, I'm gonna start with Tim McMahon.
Rick, we've seen some pretty good footage of pickleball play by your players and your staff. I'm curious if you've participated in any pickleball, and what, if any, scouting reports can you give us perhaps on the most competitive players on your roster or staff?
Well, I've seen some of the video on social media. I'm going to guess Luka's good at it because he's pretty much good at anything he tries. We got pickleball going. We have Spike Ball Pro going as a practice warm-up. There's a game right now in Spike Ball that's kind of an ongoing match between it's Barea and Doncic against Kleber and Tim Hardaway, and it is fun to watch. It's like watching a high-level game of beach volleyball because in essence the rules are somewhat similar. But look, this has been just a fantastic environment for our team to get to know each other better, get closer, do activities together. A lot of guys have gone fishing together. There's pickleball, there's golf, and so yeah, I mean there's a lot going on here.
Cool, thanks. Next up is Skylar.
Rick, good morning. What do you think is most important that players take away from their first playoff experience, and how will that be different in this setting?
Well, it's uncertain exactly how it will be different. Excuse me. I've had a tour 2 days ago, myself, Chris Paul, Dwight Powell. I got a tour with Mark Tatum, who's the deputy commissioner of the league. We got a tour of one of the game sites, the biggest one. We saw the digital boards in their full operation mode. There's going to be pictures of actual fans on the digital board, so it will look in effect like there are people in the arena. Those faces, in actuality, are people sitting in front of their computers at home who are watching the game being streamed on the computer. Their faces are on the digital board, and my understanding is that they have the ability to affect the amount of noise made and the amount in terms of cheering and stuff like that somehow on their computers. So this is like next level, like unbelievable stuff. And so I expect the environment to be quite different because you don't have actual fans, and the actual home court simulation of the environment will be different. But the intensity will be there. with so much at stake. It's important that our players feel what that next level of intensity is all about. A lot of guys have experienced it, on our team in certain segments. Luka and KP have experienced it certainly at the national team level. Kleber, same thing. But NBA basketball is, it's an amazing. NBA playoff basketball is really one of the most amazing experiences in sport, and so very important that we get this experience and that we approach it from the standpoint that we're here to win.
Great. Next up is Dwayne.
Hey, Rick, what did you learn about Porzingis this season in terms of his playing abilities that you didn't know before the season? And that eight game stretch before and after the All-Star game when he had 7 double-doubles, what did that tell you about the way he can dominate a game?
KP is a great player, just flat out. He's a great team player. He has high impact defensively. Offensively, he's changing the game at the 5 position. If I'm a young 5-man, coming up through the AAU system or whatever, I would aspire to have his skill set, his physical skills. Here's a guy 7'3" that can dribble, pass, shoot, make plays, and has an amazing feel for the game. So, as far as what we've learned, I think the biggest thing that we've learned is how he fits into how we're going to be playing. Last time he played, he was playing with the Knicks. They were either playing the triangle offense or they were just in the process of phasing out of it gradually. And so, the spacing with that is way different than how we're playing. So, this season, particularly the last month and a half of this season before the hiatus, we saw how he fits into, a 5-out scenario with spacing and how his skill set can affect the game. So in such a positive way.
Great. Next up is Davide.
Hey, Coach, Davide from Italy. Along the same line with on Porzingis, what did you see from him here? He went back home, obviously. So is he more rested? Is he he work on his body again?
Yeah, he went home, but he worked at home. He was, Liepāja is a small town. I'm familiar with the gym there because I was at his camp last year, early June last year in 2019. So I'm familiar with the setup there. He was able to get a lot of work in by himself in the gym. By nature, he's a guy that loves to work on his game. He loves playing basketball. He's learned a lot about working on his body, the last really not just since the ACL surgery, but even before that. And so, he's been doing all the right things. And so far here, I just love the way he's playing. I love the way he's moving. His vibe is very positive and energetic. It just feels like the whole situation coming off the hiatus has really energized our guys, and I imagine that it's the same with all the teams that are here.
Okay, we have one last one from Lucas, who I believe is a Brazilian journalist.
Hi, Rick. Thanks. Do you think that your team is a little bit in preseason, or are you confident that your team is close to being ready for the playoffs because it's really close now?
Well, this is our 9th practice today. We'll be off tomorrow. Our 10th practice will be on Wednesday, and then we're playing the Lakers essentially on our 11th live practice day. So we've had more practices before our first scrimmage than we normally have before our first preseason game in a conventional training camp. So, I believe that we're moving very much in the right direction, and that we're getting close. But, the 3 scrimmages, the 8 regular season games should have everyone ready for the playoffs. I'm really feel confident about that. So, and look, again, KP is a really, really important guy for us. And he's doing real well. And so, as we go forward, we'll keep gauging, the need for work and the need for rest. But, as of today, we like where we are. We look forward to the day off tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Rick. We'll talk to you Wednesday.